in. What is the tailwind that you see in Kuwait, and what makes you think Spinneys can succeed there?
So if you look at the total population, it's almost a 5 million population in Kuwait, and a significant part of that 1 million affluent customer base. Now, if I consider the high affluent customer base, almost 1 million population who is in between 20 and 40 years of age. So those customers base having an aspiration to have a better life and better eating habits, and they wanted to be a healthy. I mean, they will be, of course, looking at the options of a healthy choices. Now, if I look back, the total landscape of the grocery, almost 41% of the trade still is a traditional trade. That means we have an opportunity to get it to modern trade. It's a transition of the modern trade is always there. Now, the other thing, if I'm looking at what we have served in UAE, Oman, and Saudi Arabia, 60% of the business is almost fresh. And of course, the private label, the customers are actually appreciating the value we have given as a private label. So if I'm looking at these options for Kuwaiti consumers, I think we have a better chance to do a very good job and serve the community what they deserve.
And just on the partnership itself, Spinneys will take a 51% stake and also management control. Tell me about Alshaya Group. They're a giant in Gulf retail, deep market penetration there. Why was this the right partnership fit for Spinneys?
That's a very good question. Why Alshaya? If you look at their family business since 100+ years, and they are one of the largest in the Middle East franchise group. And they have a very rapid, solid understanding of the market. They have successfully launched and executed many of the franchises across Middle East and the other international scenarios. Now, if I'm looking at Kuwait, who may be the right partner to be, it is of course an Alshaya, because the know-how and the way of their thinking process is similar to Spinneys. We wanted to grow and further expand and look at the opportunities. So we thought Spinneys is the right partner, and we believe that Alshaya can add value to our partnership. They're having a 49% partnership and 51% for Spinneys. We will be managing the business, and we are looking forward to work with Alshaya because it's a very professional, very what I should say, understanding of the market, Middle East market group. And I'm very happy that they are our partner.
Sunil, you're also expanding at what is a really challenging time, not just regionally, but macroeconomically as well, with the global impact of these trade and tariff tensions impacting every business, specifically those businesses that have large and sophisticated supply chains like yours. So walk me through the impact so far. We know the GCC has been largely spared from these tariffs, but what are you seeing on the grounds right now at an operational level about how these tariffs are impacting the business?
So far, it hasn't affected Spinneys' operation in any material way, but one of the things why it wasn't affected us in that way, because we have an international sourcing capability. If I look at another hemisphere or southern hemisphere, we have the ability to go and source the product wherever it is and cost effective. So it hasn't affected us much yet. But if it's going forward, even if there is any particular region is quite dramatically increasing, I mean, the tariff effect may have it on the cost. We have the capability relook at the sourcing capability, utilizing our sourcing capabilities, and move the regions wherever it is appropriate if the product range is in line with what is a Spinneys sourcing strategy. One. And second, of course, we have the production capability. Most of the ingredients can be brought in. It's a cost-effective way, and right supply chain capabilities. Then we can produce within our factories. And Kuwait, we will be getting our factories production units within the store initially, or looking at the capabilities of Alshaya Group, because they have quite a lot of infrastructure built in for their operations in Kuwait. So we will be utilizing their production capabilities to ensure that we will have a very cost-effective way of running the operation, in looking at the international sourcing as well.
And of course, Sunil, for viewers watching internationally, they need to know that Spinneys is not your average corner bodega store, right? We're talking about the premium end of the grocery market here. You mentioned that you also have Spinneys brands inside Spinneys stores too. Talk to me about the translation for the consumer here as well. And if we did see a prolonged trade and tariff war impacting the business maybe into 2026 and beyond, is there capacity on the willingness to pay to pass higher costs onto consumers? What are you seeing right now in terms of how much consumers are actually willing to spend in your segment of the market?
If you look back, we have seen supply chain disruptions, probably look at the last 2 years. But we were very responsible to look at what the price customers have to pay a product that we have sourced from outside. So we are a very responsible retailer looking at all the possibilities to get a right cost and the right product to the customers. And if I'm looking at why it is an important part as a private label to play in this scenario, because we have the end-to-end capability to determine the cost and the pricing of the product. So if I'm looking at almost 45% of the business is private label, that means a Spinneys food, packaged goods and frozen, chilled, or whether it is grocery and fresh food. So that means that we have the ability to control the cost without affecting customers' pocket much, and at the same time maintaining the quality and the freshness of the product. So I should say, going forward, regardless of what's going to happen in tariff scenarios, we will be able to maintain much as possible without affecting the consumers from their wallet. I mean, without affecting their wallet, I should say.